When was the last time that your family had an honest and open conversation about money and finances before there was a real reason or crisis to have that conversation? Summer is just a great time to get together. My family just had the 23rd year of what we call cowboy camp here in Central Texas. It is basically a fancy name for a family reunion. And we had over 50 people in, and it's just a fantastic time to get together, catch up, and have these, and just catch up with the family and see what's going on. It's also a time, and I would highly suggest maybe a little bit more intimate time and fewer people, but to sit down and have a conversation over a dinner table, over an evening one night, taking a walk, and being able to start to have meaningful conversation with those family members closest to us. It's just a great time at this point of the year. It's a little bit slower. Everybody seems to be more on a summer schedule and wants you to take the opportunity during this time to start having these meaningful conversations. Don't wait for a crisis. And I've always given some personal anecdotes about what's going on whenever I'm giving these financial planning talks. And this is one of those times in my personal life. I have a family member who is extremely sick and to the borderline of a crisis. You don't want to wait for the crisis to occur to start having these conversations. You don't want to have estate planning conversations in the middle of the ICU ward or during hospice. There are far more important things that you need to be discussing at that point, spending time with those folks. So taking the time right now over these summer months to talk about the things that are important to not just you, but also all of the family members, understanding what is important to the siblings, understanding what is important to the kids and to the grandkids, what is important to you. And this isn't just about money. This is about having, an answer and some thoughts over the long run about what you want to have happen in your financial life. And the talk is more than just about money. This is about end of life care. This is about charities that you may want to be involved with. This is about opportunities that, like the future home ownership for a child and being able to provide some means to where they have a down payment for that house. It is about the quality of life. And I've always said that having your finances in order allows you to take care of the meaningful things. Money isn't an end. It's simply a means to improve your life, to improve the life of those around you, and to do the meaningful things in life. And having those conversations, having clear expectations about your family's wishes. I can't tell you how many times, mom and dad have one expectation, and then the siblings will have a different expectation, and different siblings will have different expectations. Being able to discuss these, particularly when it's not under duress, during calm times, when everybody can have some time to process and think about not only what they're going to say and what's important to them, but to also clearly hear the things that are important to the other family members, allows everybody to pull in unison instead of pulling things apart. Let's talk about making things easier for people, the people that you love. I think it's very important to understand how things are organized. I call this the red file. What I mean by that is in my credenza, I have a red file that explains where the bank statements are, where the investments are, how things are titled, who is the attorney they need to call, who is our tax advisor, the important people that are out there that can lend a hand to my family in case something happens to my wife and I. It also adds a little bit of clarity. You start to go, okay, wait a minute. I didn't address this. I didn't address that. In having a list and having an inventory, literally a balance sheet, with the appropriate names and places of where these things are is critically helpful at this point. It makes things easier for folks, particularly if there is the crisis and they're not having to go through tension-filled time of trying to figure out where things are. It will make it much easier for the people that you love. Again, I go back to the summer gives you that opportunity. Our workloads tend to be a little less. The days tend to be a little longer. And I always want to give this example. I encourage people that whether it's over a cup of coffee in the morning, perhaps a glass of wine overnight, watching a sunset, but whether it's having the thoughts and turning within yourself and asking yourself these questions, I really want you to take the opportunity to sit down with family members right now and have that honest conversation with them. This simply is a great time to do that. And in my final thoughts, if there's one thing I'll leave you with today, the best family conversations are usually the ones that happen before they are necessary. I said it earlier, you don't want to be sitting bedside with someone trying to have a conversation about what needs to be done. That time is for, bluntly, in my opinion, saying goodbye and knowing that you can do that when you have things taken care of. And if you do that, I think you're going to find that passing, it's not going to be so much easier, but it certainly won't be filled with a lot of the anxiety that we all find at the end of life. If you take control of your finances and you take control of your estate and you clearly articulate these things with the people that you love, they will have a clearer understanding of what you wanted, and they will also have a clearer understanding of what they want. And hopefully those are doing a better job of matching up.